After 8 years of silence, iDubbbz has finally risen from the dead to drop one more content cop on his old friend Ethan Klein, calling him out for harassing other creators, attacking him and his wife Anisa, and being a hypocrite. It's an hour-long video, but I'll break it down for you in 10 minutes or less. However, to give you a full perspective on how we got here, and why Ian decided to come out of retirement just to roast one last person, you might need some very important context.
What we do here is go back.
For over a year and a half now, Ethan and Hassan Piker have been at war with each other over the conflict currently going on between Israel and Palestine. Considering how the two were really close friends who literally hosted a podcast together, this breakup turned into a major drama, implicating other creators including Froggy, Denims, Noah Sampson, and now iDubbbz and Anisa, with Ethan dropping a content nuke on Hassan in January 2025, and Hassan's fans allegedly calling Child Protective Services on him. The situation has only gotten worse within the past few months. This is why it was quite shocking when Hassan showed up at the start of the content cop video, followed by iDubbbz, Denims, Froggy, and Sean DeBlack, 6 of the creators you could describe as Ethan's biggest haters.
His most powerful haters.
But that was just part of the usual skit that comes before the rant. But before we get into all the juicy details, please click that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2025, so smash that button and let's get right into it. To kick off the video, iDubbbz revealed that he never believed he would ever make a content cop on Ethan, but now he has been forced to since Ethan had apparently lost the plot.
All culminated, at least for my story, in Ethan burning bridges with people until he burned the bridge with me. Since Ethan and Hassan's falling out, I've been keeping to myself mostly. I don't have many nice things to say. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help, maybe if he stops harassing other creators, maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace and we can rekindle our friendship. So that's been my approach.
He then traveled down memory lane to the moment Ethan and Hassan first fell out of love with each other, while praising Hassan for handling the discussions around the conflict in a more informed manner compared to Ethan.
Israeli settlers are trying to evict Palestinian families in occupied East Jerusalem. The United Nations says that may be a war crime. It literally is.
I was just eating the toppings, and the pizza looked like a burn victim. It was all disgusting.
I don't know if you can make that joke in 2021.
Why?
It's insensitive to burn victims.
I think it's a good analogy. It's a powerful image.
Ethan was not prepared for this. Ethan, the whole time, is more of the goof guy. And that's fine, you know? We don't expect Ethan to be an expert on the topic.
The Hassan section was pretty brief, as iDubbbz quickly moved on to talk about how Ethan has been crashing out on people and burning bridges with anyone who didn't come out to support him while he was being harassed by the internet, including iDubbbz and his wife. This is where we get introduced to another character in this story, Froggy Tonic. For context, Froggy Tonic is an internet personality who used to work as Ian's editor and has been constantly criticizing Ethan and his wife, Hila, on Twitter for a very long time, while also making some serious accusations about their kids and their dogs. A few weeks ago, a Reddit user named Icarus_drowned made a post on the H3H3 subreddit calling Froggy Tonic out for the Twitter posts he made against Ethan and Hila, while describing him as Creator Clash's editor. Obviously, that didn't sit well with iDubbbz, since he believed the user was just trying to rope him into the drama. But that's not all. He also claimed that the user was not acting in Ethan's best interest by bringing these posts, which he would not have found himself since they weren't getting any serious engagement, to his attention. And the whole idea was to get Ethan to crash out.
Why is there so much work being put into discovering this guy on Twitter who's barely getting any interactions, linking him to me and posting on the Reddit, when there's no work being put into who the is the person on the Reddit who's posting this in the first place? If you do a little bit of research, it seems like it's an account whose intention is to make Ethan crash out. One of the users on the Snark Reddit points this out. They're like, I've seen this account before. This account has scraped its history and it's now trying to make Ethan burn bridges.
He then reacted to the stream where Ethan and Hila talked about how Ethan and Anisa had refused to publicly support them and dissociate themselves from the tweets made by their former editor.
Guys was saying shit like that Hila's a Nazi, that she kills kids, that she went on she's a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit. And that's showing up right up on Anisa's and iDubbbz feed. My good friends who I stood by after all these years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
You don't know what's on my feed. What the is happening? For all you know, I only use the For You tab. For all you know, I only use lists. For all you know, I'm seeing these things tweeted out by my editor of a year and a half ago and saying, God, that is nasty. I'm just not gonna throw someone away because they're having a parasocial weird moment.
I've probably done and stood by iDubbbz and Anisa more than anybody. I've stood by them when all the internet hated them.
I don't like that Ethan brought this up because it makes the relationship feel very transactional. Like, you know, we're just meant to support each other online despite our own personal morals or principles.
However, to explain why he considered this to be hypocritical, Ian brings up another clip where Hila talked about the case of Adam McIntyre, another YouTuber who got into some trouble back in 2022 after commenting under a Trisha Paytas' childbirth announcement, saying, "Little baby Satan incoming." During the stream, Hila and Ethan talked about how good they were for not publicly criticizing him about it, even though they didn't agree with the statement.
When he called her kid a spawn of Satan.
I never said anything
and
like
I was
that.
supposed to be like cheering on, but I wasn't going to cheer that on. That's disgusting.
Why do we forget that he called her children, which is something we would never do, the spawn
Never.
of Satan?
It's disgusting.
And
a piece of shit of a human.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
For iDubbbz, this was the same exact scenario with his former editor, Froggy Tonic.
So yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up is because they're trying to like paint themselves as the good guys, and they're saying like, yeah, we strongly disavow things that are said, even about our enemies. We are the most immoral people on the internet. Unlike Ian and Anisa, who are fucking keeping to themselves.
Do you think the situations are the same though? And do you agree that iDubbbz and Anisa can choose not to comment on the situation? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, while reacting to another clip where Ethan accused him of being a freeloading friend who was only friends with him because of the benefits he could get from him, Ian had this to say.
Ethan, that is a rich thing to say. Like, you're the H3 podcast, okay? There's a lot of friends of the show. There's even more fair weather friends of the show. Let's not get into this shit, okay? That is so bizarre and insulting to suggest that I was only ever being friends with you to get something out of it. No, I'm friendly with you, and I'd say I'm a light friend because it's been pleasant hanging out with you. I've enjoyed your content over the years. And as of late, it's gotten really fucking shitty.
To further demonstrate his argument that Ethan was being a hypocrite, iDubbbz then pointed out how many of his current employees and friends were actually following the same people he was criticizing iDubbbz for following on Twitter, including Frogan and Denims. He then talked about how Ethan treated the people who worked with it, and how they're sometimes put in a difficult position where they have to defend him during his streams, especially when he goes goblin mode, which is when he lashes out against whoever he's talking about, without caring about the implications of his words.
Constantly clarifying things on the air and making it clear that what Ethan said was a joke, Ethan is being overly defensive, or he's saying things that are like not true and he's exaggerating.
People saw that. They thought that that was what you searched to
I did
pull
not
up that
type
photo.
that.
So I'm just clarifying.
Thank you for clarifying.
Speaking on Ethan threatening to sue Noah Samspon, who released a video on March 11, 2025, calling Ethan out as one of the YouTubers who backed a genocide, Ian reminded Ethan about the public support he got when he got sued by Matt Hoss in 2016.
One of the more notable legal threats that Ethan has sent out recently is against Noah Samson.
I have nothing but vibes to gain, and potentially your money as well. Don't worry if you don't have it all now. I'll garnish your wages. You're going to be living with your parents for a lot longer, buddy. 26, you know what I mean? Try 46.
The rest of the video is basically iDubbbz going into the politics part of the story, defending Denims and the other creators who participated in the infamous Twitch panel and tier list situation that went viral a couple of months ago. The video then ended with clips of Ethan's biggest ops saying something nice about him.
I just wanted to say that I respect that you are genuinely yourself on the internet.
Ethan, I think it's respectable that you even began this journey to leave behind the anti-SJW crowd and step into a more empathetic worldview. I know it's not easy.
Ethan Klein, I think that when you are being goofy, when you're being silly, when you are being lighthearted, and just having fun with your friends, I think that is when you're at your best.
You know, I also see the dynamic of Ethan and Neela. Like, fuck, like, it's really hard to be a couple online and see people attacking your partner, and it's like, okay, like if you come to their defense, that doesn't always help them, right? Sometimes that makes it worse for them.
Since the video came out, the reaction from fans has been all over the place. On one hand, there are those who couldn't believe they got to see another content cop out of nowhere, while others are more disappointed that iDubbbz and Ethan's friendship ended this way, especially since most of their fans grew up watching them eat dumpster chicken together. Don't forget to share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. I'll be making a video on Ethan's response as well, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. See you in the next one.